Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today, I'm going to get right to the chase, and I'm going to make a guide that I think a lot of, especially new watch lovers, are going to enjoy. And that is, I'm going to share with you how I think is the best way to negotiate when buying a brand new watch at an authorized dealer. Now, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today, I'm wearing the Girard-Perregaux Laureato Evo 3 Moonphase Power Reserve. That's a very long name for a watch. Complete sleeper hit. I absolutely love it. And of course, go check out delraywatch.com. Just got a bunch of new watches in stock. A Speedmaster Moonphase, a dark blue Oris Aquis Diver, an IWC Portuguese Perpetual Calendar, as well as a Rolex Deep Sea. All that and more at delraywatch.com. Link in the description below. So guys, how to negotiate watches in an authorized dealer? Well, let me start off by saying I've worked at authorized dealers. I've worked at 3 of them, to be exact, and I've been a sales associate for a long time in the early parts of my career, so I know what it's like. And you may disagree with me in a lot of these guides, and you may say the customer is always right, but remember, the customer isn't always right, because you have to get the authorized dealer to like you for him to give him a discount. You don't deserve a discount. You will only get one if you're intelligent, you treat people with respect, and of course, if it makes commercial sense. So please don't hate on any of the advice I'm going to give you. It comes from my knowledge and, me trying to help you guys out. But as I said, no one deserves a discount. You aren't special. It's all about acumen, negotiation, and commercial viability. So before negotiating, we should know a few things. That is, most brands have a retail margin of 37 to 45%. 37% are brands like Cartier, I think Vacheron Constantin, Rolex, I believe, is at a 40. Most other brands are at 45%. Now, these numbers are dated. I mean, the last time I got this information was maybe 4 or 5 years ago, so this may have changed. But it's useful to know that the dealer's making between 37 to 45%. So asking for a 50% discount probably doesn't make any sense because you're not going to lose money just for you. And also remember, if they're making 37%, asking for 30% off may be unreasonable because the salesperson gets a commission, the dealer has to pay for the salary, dealer has to pay for rent. So you also can't expect a dealer to bend over backwards just because you want 30% off a watch. There are costs of doing business, and not everything is profit. That being said, knowing the margin is very important. Secondly, where is the dealer located? A dealer that is on Fifth Avenue in New York or the Aventura Mall in Miami might be less likely to discount for the simple fact they don't need to. They have thousands of customers visiting them per month. They have the traffic. They're likely not hurting for sales. Not to say you can't get a discount at these locations, but it's not a prime target. Next, is the dealer independent or a chain? A chain like Tourneau, Mayors, they are bound by corporate policy. Much harder to get a discount unless you're an established client. Once again, not saying you can't get one, but it's harder. A small mom and pop shop is a little bit easier because they're flexible, they want to make the sale, they want to get the customer, there's no corporate policy. So the ideal scenario is if you're buying a higher margin brand from an independent authorized dealer in not such a heavily located or trafficked area. So, buying a watch from, for example, Federico's Watches in Inglewood, New Jersey is going to probably get you better luck than trying to negotiate at Tourneau on 57th Street in New York. And then the last thing we have to realize is, what are you trying to buy? If you're trying to buy a Rolex Submariner, or even nowadays any Rolex at all, even gold models, gold models I would try and negotiate, but even a Datejust and steel, I wouldn't expect a discount. I would always try and negotiate. It doesn't hurt. Always try, but don't be surprised if the answer is no, and they won't budge. However, if it's a watch they've had in stock for a long time, or a brand that's a slow mover, something like a Chopard Mille Miglia, or maybe an unpopular Breitling, or I don't know, Panerai is a little bit soft right now. Watches like this, they might be willing to play ball, particularly if they've had it in stock a long time. Now, you don't know how long they've had it in stock. You might be able to ask the cheeky question to the salesperson, hey buddy, how long have you had this? Not to say they're going to answer you, but essentially the motivation for someone to offer a discount to a customer is, how long have I had it? Let me get it out of the showcase. It's been here a long time. This is hard to sell. So something like, I don't know, an Omega Speedmaster, a Rolex Submariner, a base Panerai 111, or a Cartier tank, hard to get a discount because it's easy to sell. But a watch that you know is selling cheaply online gray market, but let's say you don't want to go gray market, but you can see the discounts, or a watch that you know is not a quick mover, is a good candidate to get a bigger discount. That being said, here are 5 things I would always do when asking for a discount or negotiating a discount on an authorized dealer. The first question, and this is always, I've said this advice 1,000 times and people always get upset with me, and that is, be ready to buy. Do not negotiate if you're not there to buy. A lot of people say, well, Federico, I'm going to save up for the watch. I want to know how much discount I'm going to get. Doesn't matter. The salesperson's not going to see it that way. As a salesperson, if somebody negotiated with me, I gave them 20% off to close the deal, and they said I'd think about it, when they came back, I would take the deal off the table out of principle. Not that I'm spiting anybody, but I always say, hey, sir or madam, if you're ready to buy right now, I will happily do a price consideration. Let's get this deal done. But if you're not, come back when you are, and we'll figure it out. But once a deal has been made or has been offered and it is not taken, the deal is off the table. That's the way I do business. That's the way many watch dealers do business, whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter if you find it disrespectful or untasteful. That's the way sales associates at authorized dealers do business. Learn it, because as I said, I'm not trying to be harsh, but I remember the comments in the last video. It doesn't matter if you feel disrespected. What matters is getting the right price. So do not negotiate unless you're ready to buy. And when you are, negotiate hard. Second on my list, be realistic with the discount. As I said, don't expect 50, 60%. It's under their margin. They'd be losing money. I'd say for a more popular watch, 10%. 15% probably closer to the norm. And for a really slow mover, maybe 30 to 35%. But just because you don't get offered 35% on a Tudor doesn't mean it's a bad deal. Tudor's easy to sell. Maybe 15, 20% is a great deal. But on a slow mover, push for 30, maybe 35. You may get lucky. The third thing is, be ready to walk. You're there to buy a watch, and you're there to get the deal that you think is fair. If you don't get it, no big deal. Be ready to walk. And let me tell you, it's easy. It's not easy to get the deal you want. You may have to walk out of 2 or 3 authorized dealers before you get the offer that you think is fair. And if after 5 or 6, maybe you're being unreasonable and you can say, well, no one's really come close to what I wanted, and then you adjust your expectations. But don't expect, just because you're going to walk into an authorized dealer, that you're going to make a deal right there. You should be ready to walk away if you don't get something that you perceive is fair. And as I said, maybe what you perceive as fair is wrong. You'll find out if you get rejected by a whole bunch. But yes, be ready to walk away. Fourth, be courteous. Remember, the salesperson is there to help you. He's a person. He wants to make the sale. Treat them with respect. Shake their hand. Smile. Be nice. The nicer you are, the more he's going to try and fight for you. Because remember, the salesperson wants to make the sale, and he might have to ask his manager, for permission to discount. And the more he likes you, the more he's going to be willing to fight for you. And fifth, be patient. Just because they say no right away, doesn't mean you're not going to get it. Keep trying on the watch. Ask questions. Be a genuine buyer. I would say something along these lines if I were buying a watch. Hey, Mike, it's a really beautiful watch. I love the way this Gerard Para goes on my wrist right now. It looks great. What do you think? I want to pick it up, but $11,000, I don't want to waste your time, Mike. It's a little out of my budget. What do you think we could do? What do you think you could do for me if I were to buy it right now? I want to walk out with this watch, but unfortunately, $11,000 just doesn't do it for me. What do you think we can do? Be nice, be honest, and see what they will do. And if Mike comes back and says, 20% off, so let's say 9,500. All right, Mike, that's not terribly far off, but you know what? I wanted to spend closer to 9,100. If we can do 9,100 right now, I'll give you my credit card. Let's get this deal done. Maybe Mike says okay, maybe he doesn't. You never know. But with a smile, being courteous, stand your ground. And you know what? If he doesn't go to 91, you can either walk out. Hey, Mike, thanks so much for your time. Maybe next time. Or if you feel that 95 was fair, shake his hand, take the deal. Now, I actually don't know if that was 20% off. I'm just making numbers off the top of my head. I just wanted to run a scenario by you guys. But yeah, that's pretty much how it's done. It's not rocket science, but I'm surprised with how people treat the staff, people walking in asking for 50% off, people being rude. This is a human interaction. And the better you treat people and the more realistic your expectations and the better you understand their business and margins, the more successful you're going to be getting a fair deal from an authorized dealer. Anyway, guys, I hope you found today's video useful. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It really does help. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.